Hey, Jason, before we have a show, we go, take a flight. I love to have a great ice-cold beer.
Oh, my God. You're not kidding, old friend.
And, there's tons of great beers around where we're from, regional.
You know what the problem is, though?
What?
I have to, get up off my duff and go get them.
Exactly. Well, right now, we're running a special promo, craftbeerclub.com. You ever heard of it?
Yeah, of course. Who hasn't?
Who hasn't? Right now, all of our listeners, FCF listeners, if they use our link in our FCF network in the search engine at craftbeer.com, you get $10 off a 3-month subscription.
What?
Free shipping.
What?
And then you'll even get yourself a Beer Connoisseur magazine.
Now, do I have to get off my duff and go pick it up somewhere, or does it come to my front door?
Every month it comes to you. They ship you 12 beers, and so it ends up being 4 different kinds of beers and 3 of each. So if you get one that you love, you can't be like, oh, you'll have 3 more.
There are very few
more
beers that I don't love. So this sounds like a great deal.
Great deal. And, of course, it helps out FCF Network. So FCFnetwork.com, there is a banner at the top. Click it. And it'll take you right to it. Or if you go to craftbeerclub.com and type FCF Network into the search bar, there you go.
Great promo code.
Great promo code. The best promo code. Craftbeer.com.
Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. Yes. Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends, the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, but you know me as the Black Plague, and across from me is my best buddy in the whole world is Robert Smith. You can call him Captain Philip Rester. Good evening.
Who's Robert Smith?
He's the lead singer of The Cure.
Oh, did he have the Black Plague?
No, but you want a cure for the plague.
Oh, I get it now.
That's a deep one.
That was a deep cut. I liked it, though. How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you.
It's good to be seen, even though I'm drinking Omission Ultimate Light Golden Ale. I'm looking for the alcohol content in it, and it doesn't say it, which means I think it's almost
0.
Yeah.
0.1.
I feel more sober than ever.
I'm amazed at your dedication to bottle caps. I mean, I've seen you drink a lot of nasty stuff just for a little piece of tin.
Yeah.
That's crunched up around the edges of it.
Yeah, so I got a real problem, is what that is.
Well, I mean, I was just talking about the caps, though.
Oh, the caps, yes. Okay, I mean, a minor problem in the scheme of things, I suppose. Yeah, I always tell people, it doesn't matter. Just put it in front of me. I'm going to drink it.
Right.
I'm just a human alcohol garbage disposal.
Sure.
I remember I went to Biermansky's 30th birthday party, and he's like, here, take this shot of 99 bananas. I've had it since the Nixon administration. That's exactly right. And so I did, and I drank it, and I felt awful.
Ugh.
But I'll drink anything.
It was banana?
Bananas.
Yeah.
I know you don't. Now, you don't like bananas. Do you like banana candy?
No, I hate banana candy as well. And I was in the pilot's lounge not too long ago, and there was some fruit, like a fruit basket.
Yeah.
That some of our listeners had sent a fruit basket.
Thank you so much for
congratulations for your upcoming 100th episode and stuff like that.
It's on the horizon.
And it was wonderful, but it had like 3 or 4 bananas in it. And I was like, come on, people.
Right.
If you really, it's like your brother. Oh, yeah, listen all the time.
That's what you do, too.
That's what you do. Everybody knows I don't like bananas.
Yeah, and everyone knows it's, and you know what to do, Tube.
Right.
So, if you're happy and you know it, don't send us bananas.
Right.
I
mean, I know you like them, so I just kind of put them over to the side of the table because I knew you would see them on the side of the table.
I always go to the side anyway, so that's perfect.
Right. So, bananas, pajamas, whatever.
Did you ever watch that show?
No, I was too old by then. By the time it came out.
What kind of drug do you think those people are on to say, you know what would look good on a banana? Eyeballs and nighttime clothing.
I would say Adderall.
Yeah.
Definitely Adderall.
That's about right.
Yeah.
That'll keep you up.
I've been thinking we're coming up on CouchCon. We got our luggage in the pilot's lounge. We're getting ready to after the show tonight. We're gonna board and we're gonna go. Super excited. I called the Ramada Inn and said, "Hey, do we have any more available rooms? Any more suites?" Because I figured we'd go upgrade a couple people if they showed up.
Sure, some more highest performing frequent flyers.
Sure, but unfortunately, everything's packed up. It is completely filled to the gills.
I called over to the Ramada Inn myself.
Oh.
And I said, for Captain, rest assured, you have his room assigned? They said, yeah, we sure. Yeah, absolutely we do. I said, extra mints on the pillow, please. I said,
Thank you.
okay. And I said, please remove all of the bananas from the baskets.
Right.
And I said, right away, sir.
Wow.
So,
Thank
I mean,
you.
I know what you need. I know what you don't need, right? So I'm going to help you out.
I was looking at TripAdvisor, and that Ramada Inn seems to have at least a 3-star rating, which seems appropriate.
I'm a very prolific Yelper, and
Are you a Yelper?
Mm-hmm. I'm always yelping. Like, give me a few minutes to do nothing, I'll be yelping. Okay, so I have some like VIP status level stuff where I can see, and the Ramada Inn, it's pretty good.
Cool.
Hey, you know what? It's pretty good.
Now, it's the middle of October. Do they have an indoor pool? I didn't look and see if they had an indoor pool or just an outdoor pool.
They have one of those weird thick pieces of glass that goes down to the surface of the water, so you can go on one side is indoor and the other side is outdoor, but it's all heated.
Sweet. All right,
and we will get a suite.
Together?
Yeah,
we're our suite is together. Our room is together.
that's right.
What happens if we want to go to Pound Town with somebody?
Each other?
Well, no.
Oh, like if we meet a frequent flyer that fits our fancy?
Sure, because there's going to be a lot of frequent flyers there. They're going to want autographs, and they'll be all over us and kind of schmoozing with us. And we might as well take advantage of the situation if we can.
I suppose you're right. I'm so used to being in Air Force One, being in the pilot's lounge, not having a lot of interaction, face-to-face interaction with frequent flyers that I don't know if I'm prepared for that. So I didn't even really take that into consideration. Maybe we should get 2 different rooms.
Well, they don't have any rooms, so now we're going to have to. So we'll have to use the sock method.
Now, that is where you pull out and ejaculate into a sock?
Right. It doesn't matter who's in the room, but you pull out.
Just as long as it's your sock.
Yeah, it has to be
I don't
your
mean
own
your.
sock.
I mean yours is
URL
your own.
sock.
Yeah.
It has to be URL sock.
Yeah. I've heard of the sock method. I've never tried it. How is it?
Yeah, it depends. Like on a dress sock, not near as cool, but on an athletic sock.
Oh yeah,
Boom.
Because of all the elasticity and the extra penile grip.
Yeah, exactly. Whew.
I like my socks nice and tight. I don't know about you, man.
It's gonna be a good time.
I don't want a sock that's all stretched out and loose. It's like throwing a dick down a hallway, right? Isn't that the old saying?
Yeah, I think so. I used to have a hamster that when my mom would take all the socks and underwear out of the dryer, she'd put them on the couch.
Yeah.
And the hamster, not the hamster, but the ferret. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Did I say ferret or hamster?
You said hamster.
Okay. She used to have a ferret, and it would go in headfirst into a tube sock, and it would turn around and come out and just stick its head outside of it because it was warm.
I mean,
okay.
No, I would love to do that. Every time I do laundry, I dump it on my bed. I'm about ready to sort through it. My daughter comes in, and she never goes to my room, and then she just swan dives into the clothing.
Oh.
Because it's so warm, right?
That's true.
People want to, so I get it.
Why don't you just put a blanket in there with your socks and underwear? That way, every time she's coming, you just throw the blanket on her.
Yeah.
Because it's the same effect.
That's true. Like a bolo, or like one of those bolo whips, right?
I don't know what a bolo whip is.
Isn't that what Batman is? It's a rope with like balls on the end, and you throw it around, and you whip it at someone, and it wraps up their legs and trips them.
Nay.
Oh, it's a nay? I thought it was a whip.
No,
What is
a
it?
nay.
Okay. You love that song. Anyway, 100th episode, CouchCon, almost aligning exactly.
Almost.
Yeah. To our chagrin. But we're very excited. I feel like this show is reaching a fever pitch. And who knows? Who knows what will happen after? Maybe there won't be an episode 101. Who knows what will happen?
You know what? Maybe we should stop at 99.
Maybe we should talk a big game for a century mark and then never do it.
Right. That would be idiotic. But we will be also. Big announcement! I guess we will be having Couch Pilots koozies soon.
That is true, yeah. So make that part of your, some people will say, give me the surprise prizes.
Right.
Some people want the signed aviators, right? Mm-hmm. But now we got a little something extra thrown in the mix.
Right. Those will be ready. They won't be ready for CouchCon, so you won't be able to get them there. But we should have them in a couple of weeks, and maybe give them away for sale, something.
Give them away now.
Give them away now.
Should we say what's on the koozies?
There's multiple koozies. We've picked 5 of our favorite Couch Pilot sayings.
Well, they're kind of up in the air. I think some of our frequent flyers should kind of toss their hats into the ring on what they think should be on them too, don't you?
Well, yeah, they can.
Here's some contenders, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, so these are things that will be on the Couch Pilot's koozie that you can get for yourself.
Right. And ... and you know what to do, Tube?
Pretty good. Pretty good saying.
Pretty good. This show is built on the back of his back burps.
Yeah.
And then the one is it says, I'm a frequent flyer.
Let it be known, right?
Right. I mean, be proud. Be loud.
Wear it.
And we'll never mention it again. ... Ever.
Yeah. Why would we?
Yeah. Let's close the door. Let's close the book on Mason Reese. I think we have to have that one. That was the first.
That was the first phrase.
First phrase.
We should get a picture of Mason Reese. And you know, we could probably get Mason Reese to come to CouchCon. I know it's late notice, but
he's got nothing else to do.
Yeah, what's he got going
He'll
on?
pull up in his limo.
He'll hand you the koozie himself.
And then the other one I was thinking as another one would be, I've never seen that movie. Some of them aren't as good as the other ones.
Well, that has to be a phrase you always say because you've never seen any movie.
Right. So, yeah, well, more details to come, but I wanted to point that out.
Great, yeah, a lot to look forward to, a lot to stay tuned for.
I tried to pay for them with sexual favors, and the person said no. My husband said no.
Oh, do we know the people?
Yeah, it's Augie's wife.
Oh, she's making the koozies? Mm-hmm. Okay. See, I asked her the same thing, and she said yes, but I didn't even get a koozie out of it.
All right.
So I don't know. Anyway, that was a part of the show where we hear all the fan feedback, right?
Fan feedback galore. We're gonna have to kind of split it up as always.
There's so much. People want to contact us, and you know what? I think partially because they love the show and they're fans of the show, but also because they're accumulating frequent flyer points.
Exactly. Frequent flyer points is the big thing. So during season 10, episode 4, the Nick and Jessica Variety Hour, which the lovely Steph from Let's Try This podcast was on,
right?
Dee Dee on our Facebook posted hashtag what the fuck was the name of that musical? Excuse me. And then she said it was Hair. So it was not Godspell and it was not Jesus Christ Superstar.
Right, those are our guesses.
It was Hair. And you know why I know that it was Hair?
Because you Googled it?
No. Because Kevin tweeted hashtag what the fuck was that Broadway play? Hair.
And that's the Age of Aquarius, right? That's what the song that they were doing?
Sure. And in case I wasn't sure that it was correct, then Drunken Lullabies tweeted us the answer to hashtag what the fuck is that musical is Hair. Surprised the pilot formerly known as Locks of Love didn't know that.
Who said that? Drunken Lullabies?
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. My 1970s semi-religious play knowledge is not up to par, I suppose.
Sure.
And I did used to have long hair.
Right. And Dee Dee was the first one to respond, so she did get the 1,000 frequent flyer points that we offered. And she said, give them back to the black baritone. Mm-hmm. And I said, he has a new job. And she said, good, I'll take him.
Okay, good, yeah. I don't need those anymore. As I said before, all the ones that were gifted to me to help pay for milk and pay for my electricity bill and all the honey that I consume on a daily basis to fight off allergies, it's coming back to you in droves. Your frequent flyer points are coming back to you in droves.
I got one from Adam Z here, and it's not directly related to an episode, but he says he recently went to San Antonio, Texas for work.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Okay.
Yes. What did you talk about on Facebook?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so he's at the airport. So they left the gas cap open on the plane, and it took them an hour to close it. This shut would never happen on FCF Airlines, right, Couch Pilots?
I tell you what, I think one time I left it open. It only took me like 45 minutes to close it.
Right. I don't know what they were doing. An hour?
Come on.
Craziness. I posted back in September on my personal Facebook page, but also tagged Couch Pilots in. It says, Couch Pilots fans will get this. And, they have those quizzes you can take on Facebook called clickbait. And it says, can we guess how many people you've had sex with?
Oh, yeah, I saw yes.
And the answer is my results. We're pretty sure you've slept with 100 people.
No, it did not.
It does. I even took a screenshot.
Okay, now I got the link or something. That was on like a mass FCF text thing. And so I saw that. I didn't click on it. Can you give us an example or two of what those questions might have looked like to where it was able to
There was no questions. It would just generate.
You just put your cock on the...
It just generated off of your profile.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah.
What is on your profile that would say that?
I don't know. Algorithms. Where can you be? And then Tyler, this is, again, not Couch Pilots eccentric, but it was from a frequent flyer. Tyler, he tagged me in the picture. Harambe would have stood for the national anthem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, gotta love Harambe.
And the least you can do is get your dick out for Harambe, right?
Right, exactly. And last one, we'll save the rest of them for next episode, but we finally did get a picture of Gus listening to Couch Pilots. So, with this picture, he's going to get 150 frequent flyer points for the family program that he's in.
That's right. He's
so black you can't even see him.
That is one black dog they've got there. Keep him in the house after dark. I tell you
right. What. Don't bring him to Pekin.
With this picture, he do wed.
Yeah. We'll get some more frequent fan feedback later on.
Oh, boy. And yeah, as always, when we're talking about fan feedback and how you can accumulate frequent flyer points, anyone who listens to the show, you're automatically enrolled into the frequent flyer program,
sure.
Right? And every time you share the show or contact us or retweet us, even if you just tell a friend,
as soon as you download it.
Any of that stuff, you're going to get points. And you don't even have to worry about keeping track of it because we got two very powerful machines here.
Pachinko machines.
Exactly.
And they are constantly working 24 hours a day. And you say, oh, well, I live in London. I live in France.
Great. I don't.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The Pachinko machine can calculate all those at all times.
Yeah. I live in London. I live in France.
I like to sit around in my underpants.
Nice.
And you can, again, surprise prizes. You can cash them in for a flight on the plane with us live.
Many have done it.
Many have done it. Few have liked it, but many have done it. Again, koozies are going to be a possibility here soon.
Now, when I was growing up, coos meant is a vulgar synonym for vagina, but that's not what we're giving away.
No, we're giving away things to keep your beers cold.
Right.
Signed aviator glasses. We do have some 8x10 glossies that we can send out to. So there's
used
used underpants, array of surprise prizes, array of prizes all together. Frequent flyer points. Rack them up. Tell your friends about Couch Pilots.
Yeah, tell them all about Couch Pilots, and you too could be one of our premier frequent flyers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
So, I texted you about a week and a half ago, or after the last time we recorded. I said, hey, I'm done with this week's episodes, right? I got them done real early.
Yeah.
I got all the back research, all the scouring that I do.
You scoured so early.
And so what I did, I was like, I got a lot of time. So I went out there and I counted every single podcast that exists. You know how many there are?
How many?
A lot.
Well, that's almost what I thought it would be.
What did you, just a ballpark, what did you think?
Numerous.
A lot. There's a lot.
Wow, cool.
And we
are the best.
One of them.
We're one of them.
So we're
ranked in the top a lot.
Yeah. Out of all the many, we're in the top numerous for sure. A show about television pilots, ones you've never seen, ones you've never thought of, ones you don't care to think of. Even after having heard this podcast, you probably would not even care to see them. And who could blame you? But we have to talk about them because if we don't, then no one will, and then they'll be forgotten and lost in time, just like the Robinsons. Oh, that was Lost in Space. I'm sorry.
Lost in Space.
Well, we should maybe create a show called Lost in Time.
Lost in Time? All right, I'll jot that down as another podcast that we need to start that we can lose money on.
Is that no, make it a TV show, not a podcast.
Oh.
And then
you don't want another podcast that we can afford. You want a full-fledged pilot TV show?
I want to do like a back-to-back block with My Two Moms.
Yeah, I love My Two Moms. That's the one that's going to go. We're going to win an Emmy for that.
Yeah. Boy. I know there's a teacher in my high school. His name was Mr. Dyke. Mm-hmm. We should name the
He was weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you know.
He had a huge forehead.
My brother saved his life.
Really? Was he choking?
No, he had a stroke.
Oh,
in school. He had a stroke.
And your brother.
My brother is talking to him, and he was acting all weird. My brother's like lizard brain flicked off, and he's like, okay, boom, and he just ran out of there and went to the nurse's office. But he like half of his face was drooping.
Sure,
the guy's fine now. But what I was gonna say is that the stars or the characters in My Two Moms should be the Dykes, maybe.
That sounds good. I mean, they retain water.
Yeah, put my finger in one, right?
Hell yeah!
Like
High five that
little
shit.
Dutch boy. Boom. Today we discussed the pilot episode of ... capital W on the word Where's Rodney? Question mark. From the year of our Lord 19 add 90. As far as I remember, great year.
Pretty good year. 1990. I see. I graduated in 94.
Yeah.
Right. So I would have been a freshman in high school. Mm-hmm. Still around Angie Vecco time.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're really hovering around Angie Vecco quite a bit. Is there any chance of getting her on the show?
No.
I was 9 years old. I didn't know Angie Vecco. This is East Peoria High School?
Yep. Well, she didn't go to East Peoria High School. She went to Pekin.
Oh, but you knew her?
We worked together.
McDonald's.
In Kentucky. Ironically, this weekend I went bowling with my family, and the only other guy that was in the bowling alley at the time was my old boss from McDonald's.
Yeah, how's he doing?
I didn't talk to him.
Did you wave to him?
No. We were 3 lanes away, and I just tried not to make eye contact.
He said the Creve Coeur McDonald's?
Yeah.
That's funny. Next week on this very program, we're going to have a friend of mine named Jeff, and he used to work at that McDonald's. I think you guys have a lot to talk about.
That's great.
That's all right. So let's go back in time.
Back
all right?
in time.
Let's go back to when things were just a little bit simpler.
Yeah.
Right?
Good old
A
days.
little bit simpler. 27 years ago, let's put our minds back in 1990 because the pilot we're watching was from that time.
Right.
And we are not in that time now.
Right. We're in 2017. We
Yes.
cannot look at a pilot from 27 years ago and be like, oh, we can just judge it this way. No, you can't.
You know what I got in my pocket right now besides a penis?
One hand.
And another one's on my cellular phone is like a robot, right?
Right.
It does anything in the world. I put my 2017 iPhone I put on the table, and then I knock on Zach Morris's door. Hello, Mr. Morris, can I please see your brick of a cell phone? And I put that down. That's not fair to compare those two things.
Exactly.
Right? That's not fair.
Exactly.
One does robot stuff, and the other one is like a brick.
Right. Exactly. So times have changed. It's not fair to rate these pilots based off of now. So that's why you're going to give us some facts to take us back into 1990.
Not just you and me, but everyone who's listening.
And Dupree.
You, me, and Dupree as well. Do you ever see that? I'm just kidding.
I think I've seen that.
No, you did not.
I think I have.
Oh, wow. July 26, U.S. President George H.W. Bush signs the Americans with Disabilities Act designed to protect disabled Americans from discrimination.
DSJ.
It really hit home.
I mean, that's
right?
That's all. That's the only words I can come up with. DSJ.
You know, he's got those pictures of like Corvettes, the bikini models in his janitor's closet / tarmac workers, whatever, office. But he's got that picture, that glossy. It's kind of faded. The sun's hit it. It's got a couple holes in the top where it's been tacked in the wall over the years.
Right.
But a picture of George H.W. Bush, because he's the guy who said, you know what? He signed a Disabilities Act designed to protect people just like me.
Right, and that's exactly why I wasn't able to fire him when I wanted to.
Because of George H.W. Bush.
Yes,
you just wait until he dies.
Exactly. As soon as George H.W. Bush dies, I'm going to fire that asshole.
And DSJ, for the uninitiated, is our tarmac worker, Down syndrome John. He's a man. He's a mortal being just like you or I.
Right. He's got a job. He's got 3 jobs.
Yeah, more jobs than I do.
You know?
Yeah.
Lives life to the fullest.
He does. And he has Down syndrome. Great. Who cares, right?
Doesn't matter to me.
Who gives a shit?
It's never even come up
It's
as
never
a topic of conversation.
Not once. You know what I think is funny, besides what we just said, was H.W. Bush. No one ever called him that when he was in office, right?
No. What was H for?
Herbert.
Ugh.
I think they started calling him H.W. when his son became president. They were like, well, they have the same name. Why can't it just be George Bush
Senior
and George W. Bush?
Right.
No one. I don't think anyone ever called him H.W. Well, when I was a kid and he was president. Do you remember that?
I don't remember anybody. This is the first time I've heard it with H.
This is like conspiracy theorists going crazy right now. History is being changed.
History has its eyes on
The show is built on the back of this man's
I'm not
songs.
gonna give away my shot. I am not giving away my shot. Yo, I'm just like your country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot.
September 17th. In what is now regarded as a landmark event in regards to women in journalism, reporter Lisa Olson was sexually harassed by multiple New England Patriots players while trying to conduct a locker room interview.
I remember this. She was in there, and they were walking around with their penises hanging out.
But I this is my problem with that story is I think that's right around when Harambe died. So they all had their dicks out for him. Wasn't that what it was? No?
No.
That wasn't it?
Harami just died not too long ago.
What am I thinking of then? What did they have their dicks out for?
That's just because they were Super Bowl champs.
Oh.
Once you win the Super Bowl, you just walk around with your dick hanging out.
See, I don't.
But here's my
Super
thing.
Bowl. Okay.
Me neither. Here's my thing. You're a reporter. You have a job to do. Okay.
Yeah.
If you feel the need to get the best story possible, you have to go into that locker room 20 minutes after the game is over. You're gonna have to expect to see some dicks.
Whether a gorilla just died or not, there's going to be some dicks flopping around,
Exactly.
apparently.
So you know what? I think it was just she wanted to whine and cry about it. You know, it's not like they went up and swung their dick and popped her in the head. You know, hey baby. You know.
Yeah. I mean, did they? I don't know.
No, they didn't.
They smacked her in the ear with their penis heads? I don't know.
Hey, I got your microphone right here. Boom.
Talking to this baby.
Hey.
See, a locker room is just for that. A locker room is made for penises, right?
Yeah.
That's where penises come out.
The penis come out at night. Penis come out at night.
Penis come out.
In the locker room. Yeah, I mean, if your job as a reporter, if you want
You want the best possible story.
huh?
You want the best possible story, right?
Here's the thing. It's like equality for women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. I'm completely 100%, right? But if you want to be a reporter and you want to be treated just like the boys are,
Right.
the boys are walking in there with their and they're seeing the dicks hanging out.
If anyone cared at all about women's sports, but no one does, obviously. But if anyone cared, I'm sure a guy wouldn't have a problem going in with boobies out.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
It sounds like it's a one-way door, ladies.
Yeah, because I bet you that in the WNBA, I bet they don't let men reporters in the locker room 20 minutes after the game, I bet.
And why is it okay for women to do that?
I don't know
That's
why
bullshit,
it's not okay
man.
for us to do it.
I would love to get in there. How about a landmark case for this guy right here? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we want to see lesbian penises. I mean, lesbian breasts.
Now, does lesbian clits, are they bigger than heterosexual women's clitorises?
I don't know.
Sometimes I think about like gay ladies have more testosterone than other.
Is that what makes them gay, Jason? More just testosterone?
I'm not going to pretend to know what makes ladies gay. I will tell you it's a choice, though. First in-car satellite navigation system is sold by Pioneer.
Satellites don't fly like a diamond in my car.
Yeah,
How I wonder.
GPS. That was the first GPS, right?
Wow, I think 27 years ago, that was the first GPS. I'm sure it was a big box of some kind. It was huge, probably.
And someone had to crank it.
Probably sat on top of the car.
It's probably a series of punch cards, right?
And now it's on our phone. It's in some cars now. Automatically. I got to plug mine in because I'm old school.
I am still surprised when I see people with GPSs mounted to their window. I think doesn't everyone's phone have exactly that?
But it takes data.
I have unlimited data.
I don't have unlimited data.
Oh, well.
You know the difference between data and data?
No.
Data is singular. Mm-hmm. Data is multiple datas.
I thought it was, that's exactly right. I thought it was datas. No? No, I don't know.
I don't know.
How do you know all this stuff? Stop using these $5 words around.
Well, that I learned from listening to the Holiday World podcast.
Are they still going?
Yeah.
Love those guys.
I love when they talk about me on the show.
Do they?
Oh, I send fan feedback in all the time because I know they'll read it.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I need to start
To
listening
this day, I'm 53 episodes deep.
Do they have a
larger following than us? Yes.
okay, that's a given. But do they have like a point system or some sort of?
No, they don't. Nothing is given back to the listeners.
How about that? When you went down there for like they're shooting that pilot TV show.
Yes.
When you became a meta version of yourself, is that been released yet? Do you know?
No, I haven't heard any. They haven't heard anything about it.
Okay. Well, I'm in 1990.
I'm in 1990.
My head is anyway.
I got a big old GPS. Girls can't go in locker rooms because the dicks are flying around.
Right.
And DSJ can have a job.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Very good. Why do we choose to watch Where's Rodney?
Well, there's 3 simple criteria, and I'm having a rough night, so hopefully I can get it right.
Do you need me to get this, or you got it?
No, I
right.
think I got it. I think I got it.
I believe in you.
All right, so there's 3 criteria. 1, it had to be a one-off, never gone to series. Whether it was broadcast on television or not is irrelevant. 2, we had to be able to find it on the interwebs. We have to go and scour around and find it. If we find it, that's step number 2.
Yep.
And finally, it's got to be free. We got a sponsor for FCF Network
Yep.
to try to help us out, but we cannot afford to pay for pilots.
The time that we make you pay for a pilot is when I hang up my pilot's hat. You know?
Yep.
I'm never going to charge you for this podcast. I'm never going to charge you to watch a pilot. That's gratis. That's a la carte.
Kumas gos gratis.
Esperande dobante, right?
Z Cavarici.
Let's take off.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
There he is, DSJ. A little sweat on the brow, really putting his back into it, as Ice Cube once said, right?
Yeah, supposedly, I guess his kid's all up on his shots. He's pro-vaccination.
Good.
And me and DSJ kind of made up a little bit enough. I watched DSJ JR the other night for about a half hour while he was mopping up the bathroom in the plane. So, we're bonding. We're making up for things.
Good.
We're getting there.
And I hope it's because you want to do it, and like you guys are coming to that together. Because I know like a couple weeks ago, Tyler, one of our most frequent flyers, berated you for being too hard on DSJ. So I hope that's like you and DSJ doing that on your own and not being pushed into the corner.
I don't consider him being. I'm just trying to be the better person.
Yeah.
At some point you have a feud with somebody. At some point, somebody's got to be the better person, and it's obviously me.
It usually is.
My
you.
chromosomes are better. Everything's better about me.
Summary of the pilot. 12-year-old boy looks for advice and inspiration from his idol, stand-up comic Rodney Dangerfield.
Boom. Perfect summary. Straight, quick to the point, no faking.
This is what I like.
This is, you know what? This is perfect.
I like the summary, but I like your response to the summary even better because so often, I mean, I like how critical you are of the summaries. Like you really are like, I don't know about this. I think this is too long. I think this is too short, too much, too little information. But you are so satisfied with today's summary.
Right. I was actually, as you were reading it, I had this warmth come over me. And then my first thought was, they're going to do something to fuck it up. They're going to add something. And they didn't. And I was like, bam.
Nice.
Pop it right in the pussy.
That's how I felt, too.
Yeah, I can see it in your eyes.
Interesting facts. Oh, boy. Here's a segment, right?
Yeah, interesting facts. It's caused controversy over the years, but I think we're almost to 100. I think everybody's got the swing of it, okay?
I would hope so.
This is just the name of the segment. You're going to tell us some facts about the behind the curtains about this pilot, stuff that people don't normally know, stuff you had to scour and dig for.
Right.
And you put a lot of hard work into it. And the last thing that we want is any listener to comment on those facts, to say they're interesting or look over their buddy and go, wow, did you know that? That's interesting. Don't do that.
Yeah, the facts they're set in stone. They're 100% true, but the way we feel about them are not facts.
It's irrelevant.
Those are subjective, but don't subject other people to your subjective reaction to the facts, right?
I agree.
I agree with you. This pilot was submitted twice. Once in 1990 and again in 1991, but was rejected both times.
The same pilot.
Fact. Yeah.
The same. They didn't do two different versions of it.
Nope.
Okay.
Same one.
Thank
Submitted
you.
twice.
Thank
Oh,
you.
you're welcome. Produced by Aaron Spelling Productions.
Tori Spelling's dad.
Yep.
90210.
Right. Not Brady Bunch. That was Sherwood Schwartz,
Maurice's
right?
Place.
Oh, I love Maurice's Place.
What's it called? Melrose Place.
Oh, Melrose. That's great, too. Both those are great.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Alf.
ER.
ER. I believe.
My Cousin
Hee
the
Haw.
Martian. Hee Haw. And then Hee Haw, the sequel.
Right.
Great.
Right. Great Tori Spelling
Yeah.
shows. Sharknado. I'm sure he had something to do with
Aaron
that.
Spelling, yeah, he did. He was a silent partner in Sharknado 1 through 4. Aired June 11th, 1990. One commercial that aired during the episode was for the new show Seinfeld, which at the time was halfway through its 4-episode first season. So only 2 episodes. You know what I like? I'm going to pause real quick on interesting fact. I like when they like show. What's that? You okay?
Yeah, I almost said something.
Are you good?
Yeah.
I felt like I heard a buzzing. I thought it was the equipment, but it was
Just me
you.
going.
Do you have something you want to say?
No.
Okay. I like when they have 1 or 2 episodes of a show, a brand new show, and then they got commercials come out saying the brand new hit series. Like, you don't know shit.
Right.
The Seinfeld sucked for the first season. Everyone hated it, and then they gave us like season 3, then it exploded, right?
Exactly.
So I don't know what they're doing. Anyway,
Maybe that's what will happen to us.
Hold your breath. Unpause.
Unpause.
Where's Rodney is also the name of an unrelated children's book that came out on August 7th of this year.
This year? Where's Rodney? What's it about?
A little black boy.
Name Rodney?
Right. End of interesting facts.
Okay.
You can still talk about it, though.
Well, I was just going to say, did that little kid end up getting beat up by any cops or anything?
Not that I know of, but what I will say is I found out about this Where's Rodney book on Amazon.com. And if you go to fcfnetwork.com, right at the top of the page, there's a banner for Amazon. And if you click through the banner, you're going to be helping out this show and all the shows on the FCF network.
Sure. What it does is you just going through the banner, goes straight to regular Amazon like all normal people use. You can purchase any and all things that you normally do.
I was just going to say, you don't have to just purchase the book Where's Rodney.
No, you can. If you want to buy your toilet paper, if you want to buy your electric guitars, if you want to buy pads of paper, anything.
If you want to buy the children's book Where's Rodney.
If you buy anything on Amazon, we get a little bit of kickback from that. It's no extra cost to you at all.
Nothing extra to you.
Just click that button, and Amazon will help us out because you helped us out.
Very good. The next segment, before we take a break, it's called Twitter Responses.
Twitter Responses. Hell yeah, Jason got some Twitter Responses.
And you know that it's true. Hi, I say to everyone who creates the show, writes the show, directs, stars in. I say, we're couch pilots. We're this thing. This is what we do. Won't you please share with us your experience?
Definitely.
And most people don't even respond.
Nah.
But I tell you who did respond is Miss Thea Vidale. She was the teacher at the beginning of the episode. A large black lady, comedian, very funny, has a Tina Turner-esque wig on.
Right.
And I said, hey, we're excited to watch it, and we're wondering if you had any fun or inside info you want to contribute. Thank you, and take care. And at Miss Thea Vidale, or Vidale, I don't know, Vidale, and she says, hey, that was a great time in comedy. Rodney gave quite a few of us a chance and gave us a space where we could come and be who we were. So how about that, huh?
Nice. She was nice to us.
Rodney, so many people look to him as this grandfather of comedy, like the LA scene, and who helped all these comics and brought people through like the Comedy Store. And he was a mentor to so many comics, maybe including this lady here.
Yeah, great.
And I said, well, we're excited to watch it and wondering if you had any fun or inside info you'd want to contribute. And she says, well, my blonde wig and I had fun doing the show. It was a beautiful time, and I'll always love Rodney for that opportunity.
Great. That was nice.
It was very
sweet.
nice. Very nice. And then someone jumped on that as a guy named Richard French, and that's at Richard342364551. I don't know how he came up with that. But he says, hey, I saw you on the Carnival Triumph this week. I laughed so hard I almost peed my pants. Thanks for the fun.
Wow, look at that. We're connecting fans with comics.
And who else could do it but us, right?
Nobody.
So thank you.
Jason, nobody could connect people like we connect people.
Nobody does it like we do.
Nobody does it like Sarah Lee.
So thank you, Thea Vidale, for contacting the show. You are, again, one of our elite members now. We have everyone that contacts the show that's involved with the pilot is all of a sudden part of an elite group of folks that no one else can reach those heights. So we thank you very much. And now I'd like to thank you.
It's great to have Twitter responses. I like you doing this. We're on a roll. I think we've had 3 episodes in a row.
I'll wait for the next episode. You're going to love it almost as much as I love Drunken Lullabies.
Hi, this is the voice from Drunken Lullabies. Do you like craft beer, indie music, pop culture, pro wrestling, and pure juvenile hijinks? Then you will love Drunken Lullabies on the FCF network. We have new episodes every Sunday, so you can spend the Sabbath getting drunk with us. So join me and my co-host Beer Mansky and our rotating cast of characters as we drink amazing beer, listen to bands we think you need to know, and laugh our asses off. Like Elvis said, 10,000 Drunkomaniacs can't be wrong. Check us out on all podcast platforms and at fcfnetwork.com. May your music be loud and your beers be cold.
Is that the new one?
I don't know.
I need to look at that. I don't know if that's a new one or not. If it's not, Dustin, I'm sorry. If it is, damn right, I'm all over this.
I think it's the old one.
No, I took all those off.
You know why I think it's the old one?
Is it still going?
What? No. Anyway, let's break down the pilot of the 7. Let's break down the pilot.
Let's do it. Let's break down. Where's Rodney? When you sent me this link, I was thought to myself, self, because that's how I introduce myself.
Hi, this is the voice.
God
from
damn it,
Drunken
Dustin!
Lullabies.
You
Do
can only
like
have
craft beer,
you
indie
can
music, pop culture.
That's enough.
Dustin. Quit trying to get extra plugs in.
How many plugs do you need?
I don't know why you keep taking my tablet home with you every single Monday and putting that one on and trying to fake us out.
I'm going to do a little noise for you. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Bong, bong, bong. Remember that?
Darn right.
Remember I used to go like this? Bong, bong, bong.
Come home to the best.
Yeah, NBC. NBC said, hey, let's give Where's Rodney a shot. It didn't work, but this is what they did.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, you're listening to the show. Where's Rodney is a song, and the song is very cheesy music, right? They're showing clips of the show, and Rodney is just speaking over it with his one-liners.
Yeah, it's like, where's Rodney? And then he'll do a one-liner then. Where's Rodney? And
Hey, my wife does it. She says, I want a second opinion.
Hey! Ayo! And then, it does go through all the actors on here, though. So you at least get to go, okay, here's all the people involved.
Yeah, and who did you recognize?
Punky Brewster?
Soleil Moon Frye.
Yes.
Did you know that
I like to Soleil Moon fry some of that ass.
Well, did you know when she was a teenager, her boobs were so big she had a breast reduction.
Okay, look at this.
I can Google that at your
Breast
leisure.
reduction.
And then they had Breckenmeyer Brick and Mortar. Do you remember him?
Which one was that?
He was the friend who had that vest on that was really cool.
I remember I remember I've seen him before, but I don't remember what he was in.
And then the main kid was he was in he's in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He was the neighbor.
I never saw
a
the
movie you never saw. And then he was also the best friend in the movie Big with Tom Hanks, which you never saw either, right?
I saw that movie.
You saw Big?
I think so.
We're really uncovering a lot of information.
There's a keyboard that they step on.
Yeah, him and
then he has,
Robert Loggia are dancing
and then
on the...
he, as a kid, in a man's body, has sex with a woman, but is still a kid.
It was the 1980s. It was fine.
Okay.
It was fine.
All right.
Then it goes... And one of my favorite parts in all these is the commercials.
We haven't had
go
one
right in the commercials.
We haven't had one in a while that went through all of them. But first we see the Honda XL. Mm-hmm. And it's only $7,199. And I think that's probably fully loaded.
My brother and I watched this together. And
did you hold hands?
We held hands.
Okay.
And we also held
scared.
hands a couple years ago when we watched Caddyshack for the first time. And Caddyshack, to me, is terrible. Like, the best part of Caddyshack is Bill Murray, I think. And so we'd watch it, and you see Rodney Dangerfield come on, and it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Like, his spots in the show, in the movie Caddyshack, are ridiculous. So I said, hey, my brother Kevin, he was on the show a while back, let's sit down, hold hands, and watch this. I got a little surprise for you. And then Rodney comes on, and he's rolling his eyes. He's like, I can't believe you're making me watch this.
Oh, you didn't tell him who it was.
No.
Oh, that's funny.
And then, but my brother also loves cars. So he saw this Hyundai Excel for $71.99.
Got a boner.
He got an instant milk boner. Yeah.
Then there's the McDonald's commercial. They're promoting their Dick Tracy game.
Yeah.
And coincides with the release of the movie with Al Pacino.
Oh, yeah. And so this is an Al Pacino movie.
Al Pacino. I've never seen it.
I thought you said you've seen all Al Pacino movies.
Well, he wasn't the star. He was just an extra guy.
And then you had Planters Peanuts with a Rick Moranis-style character and some lady, and they were like dancing by themselves, but the cross shadows made them look like they were dancing together.
It was kind of neat. But I noticed something that we've watched a lot of pilots over the years and had over in like the commercials. Planters always seems to have it's either Red Lobster or Planters.
Planters has been around for a millennia.
But they used to spend a lot of money on advertising. They don't do that now.
That's right. They said the names out there. You know who's doing the voice too for Planters? Was Don Pardo, who did Saturday Night Live's announcing for 38 or 40 years.
Well, that's great news, Jason.
Pedrod.
All right, so we'll start this. Start with Rodney, who's we're going to call him Little Rodney because it's going to get confusing.
I was calling him Rodney, and then I was calling the other guy Dangerfield. But you want to call him Little Rodney?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little Rodney. Anyway, he's 13, and he's narrating the opening scene, and he's getting ready for his 14th birthday.
The summary says he's a 12-year-old kid, but he's not a 12-year-old kid at all. He's 13.
Then I guess I can't go and say it was a perfect summary.
I didn't mean to burst your summary bubble.
Put some sab on it.
Laugh track.
You love the laugh track.
And, whenever Rodney's on screen, which is not very much in this, a laugh track seems oddly right for him.
Right.
He seems like his entire life he should just be followed around by a laugh track.
Right, but the rest of the show, it doesn't really fit in.
Right.
So he's in class. The little Rodney's in class.
It's probably in 8th or 9th grade, I'd say.
Yeah, he's checking over to this girl that he likes. She's pretty hot. I mean, 8th grade. Just find some hot girls.
You say that?
And, well, not now. I mean, you can't look at his 8th grade class now.
Because your mind is back in 1990,
right? Because my mind is back.
Thank God.
Woo, that was a close call. Almost needed to call one of my lawyer friends. And this
You don't
girl,
have any lawyer friends.
I know. I wish I did. And then they cut to this like greaser kid from like the movie Grease.
He looks like a classic punk.
Yeah, and he's rubbing the shoulders of this girl, and I'm thinking to myself, in 8th grade, that can't happen to anybody. Why? That does not
Especially
go
not
allowed.
today. Especially, they'd castrate you today if you did something like that. But the kid's in a leather jacket, and he's rubbing her shoulders. The girl doesn't seem to be into it, but the other guy, the kid from Big, the star of the show, he sees what's going on, and he's got this internal monologue. He's kind of narrating, and then he stands up and he throws a banana, and it hits the kid right in the head.
And it was slow motion for some reason. Very unnecessary.
Everyone in the class saw the banana soar through the sky, except the person it was about to hit.
And this is where we see our Twitter response lady. This is the class. She's the teacher in the classroom.
She's like, hey, little Rodney, not big Rodney, please stop before you leave the class. And this is where I noticed the kid's wearing like an Avril Lavigne loosened tie around his neck. So she stops him for a minute, and he's like, you're better than what you've been doing. He's like, I'll just try harder. Yeah.
It was just like, okay.
And that's all that she's in the show, I think.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing else in it. And so he goes to his locker, opens his locker. Now, when you were in high school and you had a locker, you open it up on that door. Inside that door, you always had pictures of like a girl,
Kathy Ireland,
Cindy
Crawford,
or like your brother probably had pictures of cars
or pictures of my brother. Yeah.
I had pictures of Hank Williams.
Did you have a picture of my brother?
Huh?
Did you have a picture of my brother in your locker?
Did you look like a Hank Williams?
He looked exactly like Hank Williams.
Yes, I did. And he's a huge picture that takes up the whole inside of the locker of Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, it's a bizarre fascination you find out this kid has with Rodney Dangerfield. So he sees this girl that he likes, right? And his name is Cindy, and like she's picking at her ear, which is kind of silly. He's like, she looks good even picking her ear.
Yeah, and she was really digging that ear in there. Ugh.
And she's even that makes her look attractive. And so he goes over to her, and the hallway kind of clears, but she's getting something out of her locker. He's like struggling to talk to her, and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go change real quick." He's like, "Well, do you need any help?" You can't get away with that. Kids can't say that. What do they think this is, the Bad News Bears?
That kid took my line from 8th grade.
And he's like, "Oh man, I screwed it up with Cindy. What should I do? What would Rodney say? My favorite stand-up comedian."
He doesn't even say my favorite stand-up comedian, does he? He just says, "What would Rodney do?" Like, there is a point in the right off the bat that you don't understand why such a little kid would have a fascination with Rodney Dangerfield.
I have no idea.
And two, how this next part comes to be. Like, what's the reasoning for it?
It cuts to a different scene, and there you have the titular Rodney Dangerfield sitting in a nice restaurant with one of those high-pitched, whiny bimbo blondes.
Yeah.
They're ordering a dinner or something or whatever. He's like, "Hey, I'm starting to feel weird." And then he stands up. He's like, "I got to get out of here. I'm going to pass out." And then
he has that shake thing that he does anyway when he's standing there. I don't know. It was like palsy or something.
It's Bell's palsy.
Bell's.
And then what he starts to phase out like some 1960s Star Trek thing.
Yeah, it was.
So he disappears and he reappears next to little Rodney in the hallway of the high school.
Yeah, I forget what they had to start having a conversation.
Yeah, but at this point you don't know what's happening. You don't know what the magic
He's like,
is.
"Hey kid, what am I doing here? Who are you? Hey."
This 13-year-old boy can summon a man well into his 60s at his whim, at his leisure even.
And doesn't Rodney make some joke about, "Look like I live in a bottle"? It looks like you live in a bottle. He's like, "Maybe I have," or something like that.
Like he's been an alcoholic his whole life or
Right,
something.
basically is what it talks about.
So yeah, he's like asking him for advice about how to talk to girls. And I think all the show is just an avenue for Rodney Dangerfield to spout out his jokes. Because his advice, like he might be with the boy having a 3-minute conversation. 2 minutes and 45 seconds of that conversation are his jokes.
Yep.
And then he's got like 10 seconds of wisdom, and then he shakes Bell's palsy and he's out of there.
Right. You could easily just cut up segments of audio tracks from his stand-up and plug him in. It could have been a ghost, and he wouldn't even had to be there.
Well, Cindy reemerges from the changing area or the bathroom, locker room, whatever, and then young Rodney starts complimenting her physical features as Rodney said he should do. And then he's like, hey, Cindy, why don't you come to my party and then we can go for a date afterwards? And she agrees.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, as soon as Rodney Dangerfield leaves, this kid all of a sudden is smooth operator.
That's right. This is the power that old Rodney brings. So Rodney then goes home and he's very clearly happy. And then his sister was also in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I did not know that.
So they had 4 kids who were shrunk. And this is the older sister of one family, and this other kid's the younger brother of the other family. And so they work together here, too. That's interesting.
Oh, it's not an interesting fact. So
I am allowed to say such.
The sister gets a phone call, and like she picks it up, and she's like, I love you. And then she says, my mom was something. She goes, okay, I love you. And I was like, that's really weird. But come to find out, she's going on a date with her boyfriend, whose name is Spit.
That's a stupid trope of the 80s, isn't it? That's a dumb trope of the 80s is kids taking on names like Snot, or Rip,
or Booger,
or Blood Fart. You know what? Yeah, stupid. Anyway, they live in an apartment.
Cunnilingus.
Yeah. I'm going out to dinner with my friend Cunnilingus.
Yes,
I don't remember that.
Happens.
It did happen. So they live in this apartment. They're very clearly blue collar folks, and then the father is Jay Thomas.
Yeah, Jay Thomas, who just recently died.
Died. Damn it.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
He would have responded to us. He would definitely respond to us. Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe I should still tweet him.
And he was the guy that I remember him from Cheers. He was the hockey player, the husband of the little short
Rhea Perlman.
Yeah,
absolutely, it was.
And he's been on some other stuff. He's
been around.
Character actor. Was he on Taxi too? I don't know. Probably
the sequel. I'm not sure. Then it's like, well, let's all go out for a movie tonight. And then he's like, yeah, I want to go out because I want to make out with your mom. I can't imagine my dad saying that to me about my mom, even when they were married.
My dad never said that about my mom.
No. Well, he's the building maintenance man. That's his job. So he works right there, and he has obviously that he hates it. Mom works at a salon, and then he's telling his parents about the girl that he met at school and that she's coming to the party, and he's like, you can't go out with her afterwards. You got your grandparents taking you out.
They're driving 3 hours or 300 miles to come see you on your birthday. It's tradition and family first.
Yep. And then it goes to commercial because it's kind of like one of those, I can't go out with Cindy now, wah, wah, commercial. AT&T. You got some comedian cracking wise about switching companies. He's like, let me see what you're telling me in writing. And then they hang up. You know, this is an age of like hip, cool commercials. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like smarting off to the camera, Dennis Leary style, smoking a cigarette. I don't know.
It wasn't very good. Love's diapers.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that uses Love's. Are they even around anymore?
No,
they go bankrupt?
No, they went bankrupt right after that commercial.
They went down the shitter.
Nice. He's really proud of that one. And who wouldn't be?
Hey, maybe if I would have said it in a voice like this, you guys would have thought it was funny.
What if a 13-year-old boy can summon you? What advice would you give him?
Just chop your dick off now.
Jeez, good Lord.
Learn how to fuck animals.
This kid's like, I'll never think of you again. He's lucky to come back.
Red Lobster.
Oh,
for the seafood. It's Crab Fest.
Yeah.
Kids meal, $1.99.
It's Lobster Fest.
Oh, Lobster Fest.
And the kids shrimp dinner, right. $1.99.
You know what? You can't go to Red Lobster now and get anything for $1.99. A soda is $2.99.
Parking is more than $1.99.
Parkinson's disease is more than $1.99.
Next commercial, Seinfeld. There's that commercial we referenced in Interesting Facts. And there it was. The dawn of something
Seinfeld.
great.
Yeah. It was funny because right after I watched this, I watched the new Seinfeld special on Netflix.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time. It was horrible.
Oh, boy.
Not funny. Then they announced a couple shows that are coming up, like Unsolved Mysteries.
Singer and Songs, which I don't remember at all.
Yeah, and then another one I don't remember.
I do remember that. That other one was Dear John. I remember that.
That was the guy from Taxi.
Yeah, that was the guy from Taxi. And then there was a super hot rap, right?
Yeah, this rap is about not selling drugs, and it's called Straight Up Drugs for Suckers. So they kept singing, Straight Up Drugs for Suckers, Straight Up. But it's basically these two, like, Fresh Prince, DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince guys going around and, like, butting into all these crimes that are happening and saying, hey, you're going to go to jail. And
it was a really long rap.
Very long.
I bet it was 90 seconds at least. And what I thought was funny, too, is, like, if say you watch a commercial for, like home security today, it's never a black guy, right? They want to be politically correct. So they say it's always a white guy breaking into a house.
Sure.
This whole commercial was just black gang members and white cops.
Right.
Like, they didn't give a shit in 1990. This is what it was.
This is way before they used to beat them down.
Jeez. And then that's the end of the commercials. You go back to Rodney's room, and his friends are talking about Cindy and his after-party plans, and he's kind of telling them, I'm kind of screwed with my grandparent thing.
Yeah, and in this one, it was the first time I saw he had Rodney Dangerfield poster. It was a Caddyshack poster. It was the first one I saw. And then I looked around. Everything in his room.
It's pretty weird.
And there was a cardboard cutout. There was every movie.
A full-size cardboard cutout of Rodney Dangerfield.
Every movie that Rodney Dangerfield did, he had like albums like in frames. And it was just...
Yeah,
it was really, really bizarre. Like, again, here's a kid who's 13 years old, and... he is infatuated, and his parents think it's okay for him to be infatuated with Rodney.
It is again a man well into his 60s at the point. It's very bizarre. And then it cuts to the next scene where it is at the party. He's got a few more friends there, lots of family, and then he's putting on like this cowboy outfit, and that's when Cindy walks in, the perfect time to see him.
Right, his Aunt Flora bought him a Toy Story cowboy hat, and he didn't want to put it on. He's like, "Come on, it's family," and everyone, oh, and then Punky Brewster gives him a new baseball glove.
Now, do you get the feeling that Punky Brewster's got a crush on him?
Yes, very much so.
You did get that too?
Yes.
So this is something that obviously would play out if the series had gone on. Like, why are you interested in this other girl?
Right.
I'm Punky Brewster. I had a hit TV show. Why aren't you into me?
I had to get breast augmentation, apparently.
That's exactly right. So then he goes to his room after kind of feeling weird about what happened with getting caught by Cindy looking like an idiot, and so he goes back to his room and he summons Rodney Dangerfield. This time he's fencing.
Yeah, do you think Rodney Dangerfield ever went fencing? No.
No, I'm sure that when they said we're going to make you fence in this scene, he's like, I've never heard that in my entire life.
Right. It comes in and he starts going through them and this is where he's basically saying, I want to go out on this date, but my grandparents every year take me out for my birthday. What do I do?
And Rodney will not stop making jokes. If I was that kid, I'd be like, I am summoning you from somewhere else. I'm not even questioning the magic or the physics behind this. You are appearing from somewhere else into my room. Stop making fucking jokes, you hack, and start giving me some advice.
Because he starts doing old jokes. He starts out with old jokes. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm so old, blah, 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 blah.
What does that have to do with anything? How is that supposed to get me laid?
It was about his grandparents. I think he started doing those jokes because little Rodney was talking about his grandparents.
Yeah. So just whatever Rodney hears starts joking about. Give me some advice. You're a very old man. You have some knowledge.
In this whole pilot, Rodney has about 7 minutes worth of airtime, and he just did that on the first day of the week.
Yeah.
Got it out of the way on a green screen,
yes,
probably.
Yes.
And then and that's all and then he went, hey, he's like, I got to go back out on tour. I'm playing the jukebox in Peoria.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Get no respect.
He says, why don't you do a double date with your grandparents?
No, you know what? That was good advice.
It actually was not bad.
But why didn't you say that good advice at the beginning and quit talking about all your old people jokes?
Yeah. He said that way they'll pay for you two and the four of you can see you two. Right? So it's a stupid play on words that...
yeah.
So he's basically saying family's important. You can't forget them, even if you'd like to or whatever.
Yep.
And then he disappears.
He disappears, and then little Rodney goes back.
Why didn't he appear in his fencing outfit?
Huh?
Did he appear in his fencing outfit?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did? Okay, I thought he... Okay.
No, he did, because he set his fencing thing down on the bed. Little Rodney goes back out, and he's like, hey, Stacy, or Cindy, or whatever the fuck her name was. Hey, these are my grandparents. How about we all all go out on a double date? There's nothing better at 13 is to go out on a double date with your grandparents.
It doesn't seem like a bad idea in retrospect, but it is an odd proposition, and she was like super into it.
Oh yeah,
too,
she's like,
it'd be weird.
This little girl's like, this could be fun. We could make out in front of your grandparents. I guess.
She didn't say all that.
No, and then he's like, little Rodney says, "There's a Rodney Dangerfield Film Festival going on. We could go to. Have you ever heard of a Rodney Dangerfield Film Festival?
I have not.
There's 3 movies, right? Probably.
They got Ladybugs, Back to School, and then a third one.
Caddyshack.
Right.
That's it.
And the young Rodney's then laying in bed later that night. Everything's wrapped up. He's laying in bed, hands behind his head. He's thinking about his first day as a 14-year-old. And that's it. That's the end of the show.
No, it's not the end of the show.
No, it's not?
No, because I almost turned it off.
Oh, well, I did.
And I should have turned it off.
No, there was more.
He said something like, I respect you. Like, he said something about, Rodney doesn't get any respect, but I respect you, or something like that.
Well, they got some more commercials, too. You got the Holiday Inn commercial with John Larroquette. Well, I'm going to talk about them. And then you got Nut and Honey. Right? Delicious. You got a man in a full body cast.
It was John Larroquette and the Looney Tunes cast.
That's right. The cast. That's right. At that time, I think it was Billy West who was the voice.
Probably.
I think that did some of the voices in the Boo Boo Runs Wild that we saw.
Right.
Anyway, so you got the honey. Remember the old Nut and Honey commercials?
Yeah.
Where it's like
There was a bee just wandering around.
no. It was always a guy, and then a woman would come in. She'd be like, "What?" And he'd be like, "Nut and Honey."
Oh.
And then she'd be like, "Oh, well, forget it then." And he's like clearly talking about the cereal, but the woman thinks that she's being summoned for some reason. Anyway, then there's a Kmart/Kodak collaboration commercial.
Both of those companies are no longer. They're no longer real.
One of the many victims of Where's Rodney.
Right.
But yes, then you're right. It does resume where the next day at the school, the kids are talking about ditching class, and they're like, "Oh, the date went well." And Rodney here is wearing a back-to-school shirt with Rodney Dangerfield on it.
Right. Next thing you know, Cindy walks by and she's holding hands with a different guy.
Not only a different guy, but the punk from the beginning who had the banana on the
that
head.
was massaging her shoulders.
This sends a very negative message to kids, I think.
Exactly. And then little Rodney says, all his buddies are like, "You all right? You all right?" And he's like, "Hey, he does a little Rodney imitation. He's like, "Hey, I don't give no respect. Hey."
Then again, as I'm sure it would happen so many times in the rest of the series if it were to progress, the hallway clears.
Right.
Again, young Rodney is alone in the hallway. He doesn't even really think about Rodney Dangerfield, but again, Rodney comes from around the corner, and he already knows what's happened.
Right.
Before it's always like, "Hey, what's happening? Why am I here?" He's like, "I need advice on this." But Rodney just comes in. He's like, "I know exactly what happened."
Right. He's like, "Don't worry about it, buddy." He puts his hand on his shoulder and says, "You know what? There's more bitches in the sea."
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then that's the end. Bong, 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 NBC, the Hogan family, heart-wrenched drama about those left behind, and Aaron Spelling Productions, and then the Turbulence.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
A lot of opportunities here, I think. This show didn't work. And I'll tell you one reason why.
Okay.
Rodney Dangerfield.
Have you ever seen Rodney Dangerfield stand up and you were like, "Hey, that was pretty funny"? Oh, but you have to put yourself in the mindset of late 80s,
And you have to do some coke, too.
mid 80s, and do some coke.
Yeah.
But did you ever really think he was funny?
I think Rodney is one of those guys who is doing almost ironic shtick. You know what I mean? He looks like one of those guys from one of the Appalachian, or not the Borscht Belt comics, where they would go up and just belt one-liners. But he was kind of a more modern, ironic version of that. And he's one of those guys where if he was in the club, all the comedians would
Self-deprecating. That was
definitely. And they put down their opium pipes and they watch Rodney Dangerfield. It was the comics comic, right? He was the godfather of modern comedy, some would say. And but every time you see him in a movie, it's just like, "Hey, do your stand-up, and then we're just going to make a movie around you." Yeah. That's what Rodney Dangerfield
they're
movies
like,
are.
this guy cannot act. There's no way he can take direction. So, hey, Rodney, just do these 7 jokes of yours, and then we'll, like you said, we'll build around it. For me, there was no explanation of why little Rodney could summon the great and powerful.
Is that part of the charm, though, of the show?
No, it's
I don't
not.
think so either.
I needed some kind of explanation. Did he meet him one time, or what happened? What gives? Because kids are going to watch this and think, "Oh, Wayne Gretzky." I wish Wayne Gretzky would give me some advice.
Tina Turner, right?
Belinda Carlisle. Ralph Macchio.
I knew the next one. I couldn't remember. Thank you.
David Carr.
I don't know what that is. If this had survived, I think what we're looking at is this is what happens when you're a little kid. You wake up really early because you're dumb and you don't want to sleep.
You wake up and it's gonna be one of those Rodney dates for you.
I would wake up early on a Saturday morning and I would get the big, a 5-gallon Lowe's bucket, and I'd fill it with cereal and milk, and I'd sit in front of the TV and I watch every cartoon ever made.
Sure.
10 a.m. rolls around, it's already been a long morning. You've been up for 3 hours. That's when the older kids' shows are coming.
Right,
live action shows.
They're just getting up.
And so you got Saved by the Bell. You got
Power Rangers.
You got CITY. You know why. We're the city guys, right? You got California Dreams coming on. I think Where's Rodney could settle nicely into a late morning Saturday morning lineup.
All right.
That's why this was on in the evening. This is a prime time show.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in the prime time.
Yeah.
That's like watching I always thought Silver Spoons should have been like a Saturday morning show instead of a primetime show.
Yeah. Ricky Schroeder. Where'd he get that train?
He was good looking, wasn't he?
He's a good looking boy.
Jesus.
Good looking boy.
And another some more turbulences. again, I brought up earlier, why is a 13-year-old so infatuated with a dirty comic from the 80s?
A lot of explanation needed, I think.
I need
Some more than others.
explanation.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I was indifferent the whole time I was watching it. Like, I didn't laugh. I wasn't uninterested, but I wasn't interested.
I think that speaks to your score.
Yeah, maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
The Final Descent, where we tell you what people from around the world had to say about Where's Rodney. I always look to IMDb first. I love it. Do you know what IMDb stands for?
Illinois Broadcasting System.
That's right. And what did the Illinois Broadcasting System rate Where's Rodney?
6.5.
3.9 from 12 ratings. Critic reviews, Where's Rodney? Was one of the many questions raised by Where's Rodney. This is by Roger Cormier from Side Splitter. This is a critic review. As often as it's been written brilliantly, in the brilliantly canceled column, a few tweaks to this show could have really made a positive difference. In this case, it probably wasn't enough. It wasn't possible for Rodney Dangerfield to have simply appeared in more scenes due to age, commitments, and or giving enough of a shit.
Right, that's more like it.
More episodes could have worked on giving the other character and actors a chance to carry the weight of the series to the point where Dangerfield's presence was simply a fun bonus, but it wasn't to be.
Okay.
I agree with that.
I agree with it.
That's kind of what I was saying, right? That's what the show did mainly. Yeah, 22 minutes. Really, Rodney was in it, maybe 7.
Right.
Maybe. So it really was on the back of these other characters, which were all kids. Put it on Saturday morning, right?
I like it.
I don't know. Viewer reviews. TV that's too awful for TV. This is from April 28th of the year from our Lord 2001. A simpler time, a time before 9/11, I would say. This is by N Southern 51. I glanced at Rodney Dangerfield's filmography / list of TV appearances, but didn't notice any mention of this curio. Why? Where's Rodney is one of the worst television sitcoms ever produced, right up there with The Thorns, a short-lived series starring Tony Roberts in the Croft-produced Pink Lady. Better not to ask. I seem to recall that it lasted for about one episode. I also, though I could be wrong, remember it airing slightly earlier than 1991, in about 88 or 89. In it, a strange teenage boy with a Dangerfield obsession. We're talking about Mark David Chapman over here, folks. Rodney posters all over his walls, or Rodney cut out in his rooms, the works. Somehow develops a psychic / telekinetic ability to summon Rodney into his room for assistance whenever a Leave It to Beaver-like problem arises. In sum, this is a piece of pure trash, not even intelligent enough for beer guzzlers or the mentally impaired. I feel like that's describing everyone that works here at the FCF
right,
Network.
Yeah. So basically just everyone at the FCF Network, you guys...
Even you idiots couldn't like this. I'm sure Rodney would like to destroy all existing copies and erase it from the records. I'm embarrassed enough to admit that I watched the first episode way back when. Rodney did 1,000 times better with his 4 or 5 feature vehicles, particularly Easy Money and Back to School. Thank God this never made it into a regular air slot.
It was not the worst thing we've ever seen.
Oh, but this person has not had the access.
Right.
We've watched almost 100 pilots at the... Come talk to me when you walk 100
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
And now we land. Just like Rodney Dangerfield landed so many jokes back in the 70s.
Nice.
In the 80s. And the 90s.
He's dead now, right? Is he dead?
Oh, he is so dead.
How dead it is? How dead is he?
I'm so dead. I said, hey, Doc, how dead am I? He said, you're pretty dead. I said, can I get a second opinion? He said, you're ugly, too.
1 out of 7. That's the scale. It's funny. I was having this conversation at my new job today. Someone said, do we measure things, here at the company we work for? Do we measure them in kilograms or pounds? I said, we do it in pounds. They say, well, kilograms is by the tens, right?
Right.
It's a system based on 10. A lot of things are based on the system of 10. Not this show.
No.
Not
This is
really.
based on a 1 to 10 schedule.
1 to 7.
1 to 7 schedule.
We're based on 1 to 7
Is this the first
scale.
time I've ever done this show?
Something
happened.
You said 1 to 10 and schedule.
Something happened.
Did you have a stroke?
You know what? I cannot want to stroke more than I do right now.
There's there's an acronym if you have a stroke, right? A KISS, keep it simple, stupid, right?
Yeah.
Is that, so that's what I'm supposed to do if you have a stroke?
Well, that's if you go to a AA meeting too.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm on it. But 1 through 7, the 1 is the worst score.
Roy Biggins.
No pilot swings through our Western style doors that swing back and forth, hoping to get a 1.
No.
No. But you know what they do want?
A 7.
That's right. And what is a 7?
The slickest, coolest dude in the whole world.
And his name, of course, almost 100 times saying it.
Brian Hackett.
It's Brian Hackett. You bet it is. I got to put you on the spot. 1 to 7. That's the scale. We ripped it from Wings. We didn't just make up those names, Roy Biggins and Brian Hackett. That's from a television show from the 90s called Wings.
Which was amazing.
It inspired both of us to become
And now
pilots.
that we're done, me and my wife are done with Total Divas, we're going to start watching Wings.
I don't know what that is, but I'm glad to hear that. Captain Philip, rest assured, I turn to you on our 1 to 7 or 1 to 10 schedule. How do you rate Where's Rodney?
Tell you what, those kids did a really good job holding up that pilot.
I agree.
Those kids were not bad actors. I found out that Punky Brewster ended up having to have boobs reduced, which is going to help the score out.
It's going to factor?
Yeah.
It's going to factor into your schedule?
Again, I was indifferent the whole time I was watching it. I wasn't laughing, and I wasn't saying this is horrible.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything for me. The kids held it up. A 4? A 4? I wanted.
If you were indifferent,
I was going
a 4.
for
The middle of the road seems.
I was going between a 3 and a 4.
I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to say this is a 5.
Really?
I kind of like
I
this.
am taken aback.
I don't like laugh tracks. It works for Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney, even though the show is built around him, obviously, a little bit of Rodney goes such a long way. Such an incredible. I don't even like him that much. But you're right. The kids held this show up. There's a lot of young, talented kids. Breckenmeyer, the Brick and Mortar. He does, with Seth Green, he does that Robot Chicken. He was in a bunch of movies in the 90s, right? He was like in Can't Hardly Wait, I think, and a bunch of stuff. Maybe not that one, I don't know. But then you had Soleil Moon Frye. TV's Punky Brewster, just a few years removed from that. She's on this show. You got that kid, the star of the show, Josh, whatever his name is.
From Big.
From Big and Honey I Shrunk. That kid really is one of those 1980s child icons. So you have a talented crew of kids that I think would do very well on a Saturday morning television program. If you had those kids today on like a Disney Channel, they'd kill it.
Oh, yeah. They would tear it up.
A silly premise, not a lot of explanation, which I don't necessarily need, but a silly premise nonetheless with just the right amount of odd Rodney Dangerfield sprinkled in. I got to give it a 5.
Okay.
It was silly. I can't imagine this going very far, and obviously it didn't, but I still kind of enjoyed it. Oddly enough, as much as I don't care for Rodney Dangerfield, I still kind of enjoyed it.
You know what? I respect you for that.
Hey, and they say I don't get no respect.
Hey, and you know what? With that, we close the book on Where's Rodney, and we'll never mention that show again.
Ever.
But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of Saddle Rash. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. Armless gunslinger Slim comes to town seeking revenge against bank robber Tommy Morgan. Assisted by the town's resident sidekick Gummy, Slim makes his intentions known to Morgan's gang, which leads to a showdown in the center of town. You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. And you know what to do, Tube.
Nice.
I like that I said that.
I love it.
Now, the end is nigh, but really, we never stop, right?
No, we never stop. We're packing up our bags tonight. We're going to CouchCon. Episode 100 is coming up. Mm-hmm. There are pilots till the ends of time.
Yeah.
Nigh on the ends of time, and we're gonna do it. And you know what, folks? Next week I have a special episode for you.
Very special episode. And I will also say that even though the show right now is over, we exist all the time on internet, right?
Interwebs.
You
yes.
heard all the fan feedback today. That could be your dumb suggestion or voice or comment, right? And how do you contact us?
Go to couchpilotspodcast.com. All our social media links are there. You can email us from there. You can listen to any of the episodes. Over almost 100 episodes you can listen to. You know what? Go back and listen to the pilot episode of our show.
I would say call off of work and just listen to them all day long.
That'd be great. Email us. Twitter, CouchPilotsPod. Facebook, Couch Pilots Podcast. The links are all there on Couch Pilots Podcast.
The only thing that's not there is our call-in number.
Well, what is that number?
It's 910 Pilots 1,
Which is in
910-745-6871. Call us anytime. I would say if I had to say what time works best for us, call us in the middle of the night, about 3:30, 3:45 a.m.
That's perfect.
That's the best time to call.
Right. Because I'm just getting up.
What do you mean? What does that have to do with that?
My prostate.
Oh, is it?
I have to pee all the time.
This whole time it's been going to your phone?
Yes, it goes to
So this
my
whole
phone.
time I've been telling people to call that early in the morning and it's going to your phone.
Yes.
Interesting. FCFnetwork.com. That's our home base, right?
Yeah, that's where all the shows are. Drunken
We
Lullabies.
got 7 or 8 shows now.
8.
We got 8 shows on the network. Growing leaps and bounds, some would say. I don't know.
Great. It's great. It's a great place. So go to FCFnetwork.com. Again, click on that Amazon link. It doesn't cost you any more, but if you go through that tunnel,
Yep.
anything you purchase, we get a little bit of kickback.
Amazon link is there. The Craft Beer Club is there.
Craftbeerclub.com. FCF Network is the promo code. $10 off your 3-month subscription as well as free shipping.
Everyone likes highfalutin beer. Everyone likes everything because that's what Amazon has. If you want to use those things, go through our website. Help support a mom and pop network.
Thank you.
Would appreciate it. Hey, thank you. Captain, rest assured, is there anything else you'd like to say to our frequent flyers today before we go?
Nope. I'm happy with everything was said.
Oh, wow.
Perfect. Let's high five that shit.
And with that, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Love y'alls.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.